Can you see me now?
No, but let me go out and come into it.
Okay.
Maybe we have already had it.
Okay.
Oh yes, I can see you.
Yay, it works.
But now it's like.
And then you should
Okay,
be able. Yeah.
Oh wait, now it's just got a little bit of a delay. So you just said, "Yay, it works."
I put no delay on it, but maybe there just will be a delay, and that's okay. And we'll just say that at the beginning is.
Yay, it works.
I put no delay on it, but. Oh, my cackle.
Maybe what we'll have to do. We'll just have a little bit of a delay.
Okay, that's okay. And I do see that there's one viewer.
That's by what, about 20 seconds?
Right
That's me.
now. Ten-second delay.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so good.
OMG, select the window to show in the video call. You can do screen share. So I can share my screen.
What's that mean?
That means like, let's just fidget around with it for a second.
I see. Does that mean that we could both be on the screen?
That means that I,
oh,
if
so
I
you
open,
could be on 211.
Yeah, I think so. Just will be a delay, and that's okay. And we'll just say that at the beginning is. I put no delay on it, but look on there, and I'll pull this up. I don't like that there's a delay.
Yeah,
My cackle.
I don't know why it keeps going back and saying there's no delay on it.
I don't like the way that looks. So do you want to set it up and see if we can see your screen? Okay. Or I can quit this. And I do see that there's one viewer. Oh, there's two viewers now. Okay. We're still working out the kinks right now, so. Okay. Okay. 10-second delay.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Why does it keep looping? Yeah, I can try that.
2 concurrent classrooms. For like session 1, we'll have, I can't remember what our classrooms are. Each session will have 2, so we have 8 sessions all together.
Oh.
There's 24, so that's right. So 3 goes into
Okay, it's back up.
4. 15 posters. That's perfect. That's good. That's good.
Oh.
Can you hear me? So still a 10-second delay, but let's hope it doesn't loop the audio again.
Just have to be aware of that as people are talking. There may be a delay for them too.
Okay.
So that could be something that you tell people, or that they're checking in just to.
I'm gonna do it in the chat bar because they won't be able to talk to us except
they
if they
won't.
type in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, so it's not a two-way thing.
Mm-mm. So I'm typing in.
I turned the volume off mine so it doesn't.
Okay. Seems to be okay so far. Like I'm not hearing any feedback on this end, and I was hearing it before. So.
Yeah. Maybe it was because I was logged in before, so I did.
How do you spell bear? Bear with us. B-A-R-E or B-E-A-R? Is that still
It would be like your B-A-R.
bear with us?
Would be like your B-A-R-E.
Yeah.
I think I would Google that.
I'm doing it right now.
No, don't be there.
Bear with
us. And then do we want to go?
So if you guys don't have anyone, I think I may not stay. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
And depending on just how it goes, I'm just more wanting to hear what your ideas are and thinking, so, but I may not stay.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh.
Okay. Mhm. It's gonna be back for us. Is this supposed to be behind us?
It would be good, I guess, if people know what you want.
So it's gonna have to be
Yeah,
backwards, right?
yeah, so.
No. It's gonna
Otherwise,
be completely inverted.
there you go. Oh, that's great.
Another like challenging my ability to.
Oh my gosh, you did such a good job. How's it look?
It did it correctly.
So maybe you have a little dyslexia, you didn't know. So you
I
can go back and-
Probably.
Actually, that's a nimble brain to be able to do that.
Okay. Well, let me.
I would have had to write it and then copied it backwards. Like I'm not sure I could have done it.
Yeah, like I wanted to just put the
Yeah.
the message backwards, but each thing has to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So we still only have one viewer, but it's only 5:13. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, so it is interesting. So you had quite a few people sign up, but then when you sent out your email to those people, then nobody responded back.
Nobody responded back.
Do you mind if I sit next to you?
Not at all. I had to rewrite our message backwards and inverted.
Oh, good idea. I didn't even think about that.
It's-
Wow, that's impressive.
That was very
Wow, that's
that
is some brain work.
Let's try the laptop now so I can
Oh, yeah.
let it up in front of it. And I put a message to everybody in the chat bar, if you see that.
I don't see anything in the chat bar.
There's no, where's your chat? Okay. weird. I put it on there.
Maybe it's just delaying too. Tricky part would be us
So
working that.
you can see it's going to be in. Yeah, so the
Oh, I
messages.
see. So you're not showing people how to do it, are you? Or are you?
Well, we were going to do the scenarios with them, and we were going to say, okay, you know, I'm Tina, and I'm going to look for a daycare provider in Grants Pass, and so I, you know, type in our thing, and some of them come up, and then we kind of look and see. But
There's no way to do it on the screen share. It didn't work.
I can try it again. It doesn't seem like it's being wonky right now. So let's see. So you just keep monitoring that, and I'll see if I can. Screen share.
It's okay if I move.
Of course. Yeah, let me get it all out.
Okay. You might want your water.
So, let's see. So this would be the true desktop one. But see how it like kind of keeps
Oh.
going back? Yeah. And then I wonder if I pull up my Safari. So what do you see now?
That it'll take 10 seconds.
Oh, right, that's true.
Okay.
Okay, so that went to normal. Your Safari.
Yes.
Typing.
Okay.
That'll work.
So we don't
That
need
might
that.
be easier because then they can just hear us talking.
Yeah. Can you
Yep,
turn the
that's
volume on to see if you can still hear me talking, even though? Okay, sweet. So it works pretty well. So
I went to go see The Arrival. Oh, how was that? This is sort of reminding me of this time delay thing. It was very good, actually. It was much better than I anticipated.
Let's see. Here's
so I'll have that screen up and ready to click on.
I'm gonna half screen it with our little.
So it's really easy to start, to tell you the truth. So
Oh, that's a good idea. We could even.
Yeah, that'll be better. Then people could just see you right along, go right along with.
We can walk through it.
That's better.
Oh yeah, you can see that a lot better.
Did the chat come up? Your chat introduction?
Let's see.
No. I wonder if you have to send the chat.
I pushed enter, so I sent it.
Why don't you say something back? Say something. Is that what you do? Create channel. Is that what it says? Oh,
I
chat.
think I have to like sign in and say I want to.
No, it's too much, but it would be interesting to see if it goes back to you.
Oops, got it stop. Show up and
to list all. So we need to go back to.
do you want me to also mention, since it's not showing up on mine, the
Yeah,
10-second delay?
Yeah.
How did you?
I'm going back to.
Because if they can't chat with you, that's gonna defeat the purpose.
I know. So let me go back to the event. We started this a little early.
You're fine, you still have 10 minutes.
Okay, live control room. Highlight, public view, open live chat in a new. I wonder what that is. Well, let me go back to edit, influence settings. Okay, so public, quick, advanced settings, enable live chat, limit chat posts. Oh, enable slow mode. Oh, limit chat posts to every 60 seconds, automatically block spam messages. Do you see chat anywhere else? Or maybe I just had to see it anywhere else?
Hello. Come on in.
Hi, yes. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm so
Welcome.
glad you made it.
I've been wandering around for a while.
Oh no.
Did you get lost or are you just killing time?
No, I was just killing time.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I got here before 5.
Oh wow. We're working on trying to get our live streaming up and running correctly so we can have people chat in.
Well, let's see.
So you weren't able to get a computer room, huh?
No, we are. We have one, but they were thinking it would just be
So I'll try it again.
do
Maybe.
it on here.
There's some snacks if you want anything.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm Heather. I'm Heather.
Sorry.
Clinical faculty.
Debbie.
Tissue. What's
I
your name?
wonder if
Debbie.
I should
Debbie. Nice to
try
meet you.
to hook my computer into
Oh, good.
the
Okay,
overhead.
great.
Well, I don't know. It just stinks because that's the only way we can get feedback from people if we have the chat option available. So,
On the site itself or just for the class?
With it, we have for this.
Well, usually like it, so they can see us, but we won't be able to see them. But we want them to be able to communicate with us via the chat, like the little, when you type in the comment and kind of like instant messaging. Or,
Right.
yeah, so I just can't get that.
So this is going live.
It's live right now. We're testing it out live. So
Oh, there it is. Oh, it is that. Okay, what we need is.
So were you supposed to come or?
yeah, totally. We did this because it seemed like a lot of people couldn't make it physically into here, but
Oh,
We had some,
okay.
and
Yeah.
we did some sessions out in Cave Junction, Grants Pass, and that we might not be able to drive that far.
Not for an hour.
Not for an hour, yeah, in the middle of the week.
I came from Goldville.
Well, that's
Oh,
still
yeah.
good. Thank you for coming.
yeah, thank you so much. I don't know how to do it. Okay, so
Go
I'll,
backwards so that they can read it correctly.
Yeah, she did.
It actually did it.
okay,
I was wandering the hall, see if I could see any of my old professors.
did you see any?
4 years.
Fantastic. What was your focus?
Business. Ended up with 2 associates. Didn't want to go to SLU.
Yeah,
I want to climb those hills,
yeah.
fight for parking.
There is that.
Yeah.
There is that.
I was ready to go till they took us on a tour.
It's a bit of a, so were you living in Goldville then? It's, it's also a bit further south.
No, I was living here in Mount.
RCC is great. That's good programs. So did you get what was your one in business and then something else or?
Associate Science.
It's taking a while. There we go.
I was gonna go to Oregon State and I thought, no, I don't want to go.
So I just put it in.
It's a ways away.
I put in that we were
I was gonna
using
move up there.
technical
Uh-huh.
issues,
I'm just so
there's
proud.
10-second
I owe
delay, and the other is
$44,000
the
in
chat
student
section.
loans now, so
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so maybe,
Yeah. got hired.
If someone comes on, I can
Yeah.
see if it
You're
can
in
show up
the-
online
you're
because
in
then
the
Yeah,
administrative
the
too.
corporate office.
Okay.
I run the Navigator program,
Oh, terrific.
which is resources.
Yeah, right. Wonderful.
Do I
Which is
have
this.
Yes,
So did you go to the training?
yes.
Yeah, and so you're really good, just, yeah, to run through it. Yeah, that's great.
And I've been on the site and it lacks so much.
So that's really important, that's why they're, just
Yeah.
here to talk about where are the gaps and, what's.
Well, there was a link on there, I was looking for, like food baskets.
Yeah.
And then there was a link that, sponsorship. And I clicked on it, it's empty.
Yeah, I
So
think
nobody's
there's-
sponsoring families, I guess.
Right, yeah, huh. And maybe that's something that's being built, now, and I don't know how active that is, that would be good. for
Yeah, well,
parents.
it's still like a work in progress.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. So that didn't, change anything there?
Mm-mm.
sign into the internet.
You have your student ID?
You should just be able to do what you're sign in for, are your SOU sign in?
Yeah.
If not, I'll try mine.
That's why I didn't bring my laptop, because you gotta have a student ID to get in.
I wonder if I do that SMU.edu.
I think you just do your Spires as, not at SOU.edu. It's your username.
Oh.
I can try, but that's really weird that you can't, you should be able to just get right in with your SOU user. Your SOU.
Okay, Chrissy, I am seeing yours.
Oh, great.
So that's all that
good.
matters. So you can be the moderator, or I can be the moderator for that. So, yay. Okay, Chrissy, I am seeing yours. So that's all that matters. So you can be the moderator, or I can be the moderator for that. So, yay. Chrissy, I am seeing yours. Yeah, a 10-second delay.
Do you want to still take this up?
Well, I was just thinking if we can work on stuff up there, but
And if not, maybe you could sit right here and then you can see the screen still of what everybody else is seeing. If you
she's
want.
gonna move her screen also to the 211 website, so you won't be on camera.
Well,
That's
and
a concern.
and you can't see past right here, so it just goes straight back from there.
Yeah, I don't wanna be on camera.
No. It's right here's the cutoff. Anything over there you can't see. Do you want any chocolate? No? Okay.
To be better,
Did you try to get the backslash one already?
yeah, but I don't know if I did it quite right. I don't think I put it Spires yet. I should put that.
All right, well.
We can get squishy if we need to.
I can go see if I can help. It used to be SOU backslash something.
I've never used these other than having it already done.
Do you have to use 2-in-1 a lot?
I've started checking into it. It's lacking.
Meaning that there's just like not everything's on there that should be, or you're just not being able to use it very well.
No, I can navigate through it, I just can't find what I need.
Because it's not on there, right? Okay. And see, that's the kind of stuff
So I
that
figure
we,
that's a work in progress.
yeah, but that's the stuff that we want to know like tonight. So anything that you've tried to see but haven't been able to see, such as like I heard you say the Thanksgiving baskets and stuff like that, food
Yeah,
for the
I just
holidays.
gave, like, we had the Salvation Army sign up on there. But that was it, and that was just for Christmas. There was no like last minute Thanksgiving, except meat,
Okay,
where people could go and actually eat.
right. But no like food baskets to take home and prepare the meal themselves. Okay.
And it was like they'd already done them all. Because they do them ahead of time, but you'd think there would be some of the organizations that would do it last minute.
Yeah, have excess on hand for families that just show up.
I didn't see anything in there, and it's, what's hard about it is people have kids and they have to make arrangements for sitters or go take the kids with them
Mhm.
and then drive around and go to all these places to find last minute, Thanksgiving food basket or something, so they don't. Because it's just too much of a hassle for them to
Oh,
drive
yeah.
around town with a bunch of kids in the car.
It's stressful. Oh yeah, I won't take my kids any shopping with me
Yeah,
at all.
it'd be
People-
interesting if they could do it somehow, like how Access does a drive up. I think some of their food delivery or food pickup, they, at least from what I've seen, is people drive up and they, put the box in their car. That'd be nice if they could do that for our holiday baskets.
All right, so you want to get started?
Well, if that's
5:30.
what that organization does, at least put that info on there so that they know that they could drive up to Access.
Yeah,
But you'd have to make sure with Access, are you doing last minute?
yeah.
Thanksgiving baskets,
I don't know that they.
because that's not till next week.
Mhm.
Because I know for one of our ICANN clients, she's requesting a Thanksgiving basket as well, like for food and
Right.
yeah. So
So who does the networking for the website?
The networking as in.
Well, like some of the radio stations will do that Swish thing every year, or they'll do a sponsor. There's Wolf right now is doing a sponsorship.
where you can like sponsor a family.
You call in and
Oh, sweet.
nominate a family for sponsorship.
Oh, very cool.
I think that's one of the issues that we're hoping to address, which will probably be in our what we'd like to see. And I know that currently they don't have.
Get
Oh,
in?
yay! Great.
Yay! Thank
It's
you.
a backslash, it's SOU, /.
Oh, okay.
The one, we have it right, I don't know why it didn't go last time.
Weird. Well, it went now. So we'll take it.
So I'll let you do the head of you to.
Well, do we want to do a brief introduction, even though we
Yeah.
don't have any new viewers, in case it
Yeah.
records?
Do you want to do it in front of the camera? Because they can always go back and watch it from the
Yeah.
beginning. So
Sounds good. Oh, you want me to? Yes, I see.
the intro doesn't have
Well, hi and good evening. We are really grateful that you are here to participate in the 211 work group session. It's the first session of this type here, and we have one lovely participant here on site, which we're grateful for. And we would like to work through a few issues. We'd like to talk about a child care resource network and work through some scenarios, try to make that a little more familiar so that if you're going to work with a client, you have a better idea of how to quickly get through that. We'd also like to look at the intuitiveness or the friendliness of the website and maybe go through a couple scenarios that are directly related to your client population to see where there might be some breakdowns in the system or where there is some hiccups that we could possibly send information up to Portland to work on when they get the funding to do that. And finally, we'd like to look at anything that you would like to see that isn't there, and then anything that's there that you might like to change that we haven't already covered. So those are our main topics for tonight, and I'm gonna move over so I can get the screen up in the room, and Katie's gonna moderate here. And we
Yep.
have a place for your chats. We can actually see them now. So if you have comments, please chime in.
So I'm going to switch it over to the internet so you guys can see what I'm looking at as well.
I know. that's a possibility. Well, maybe it'll be a fact.
So
Oh, now we can play it. Perfect. All right. So I'm just gonna pull up, and your clientele is Goodwill. Do you have a specific, that's pretty broad. Do you have a specific group you tend to focus in on?
It's the Navigator program. I navigate people that come into resources in the community,
So,
housing, jobs.
so people coming in and asking for you to help them get those resources?
Or they're referred to me through DHS.
Okay.
So do we want to first look at our community or the childcare providers?
Yeah.
Do you ever have to help people navigate for that? Have you had to work with families?
Yes.
Okay.
So up here, I know that she briefly went through this in the train the trainer session. So you can get to it through just clicking this, or you can go through the search bar to get to childcare, but this is probably the easiest. And like she said, it is nice to call because you can get through all of these links just with talking to someone. You don't necessarily have to go through all the hoops to get to where you want because you can have that conversation. But where is your main population? Do you think your main population is Medford?
Yes.
Here. And I'll put 97. Do you think 01 or 04 would be your typical 01? Okay. So we put that in there and we're going to do the search bar.
I'll be starting in Grants Pass next week.
Oh, that would be a good place to look too.
Mhm.
Because there, UCAN is our access down here.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so it's supposed to show 25 providers, and it could just be our internet is being finicky because normally there would be a map showing up in here in this section with the little hyperlinks. But if you come down, what I like about this platform is that once you get to the original, this first page, you can come down and you can make some choices, which might be really helpful for your clients to be able to say, I think they can click as many of these as they want. So if they prefer a family childcare in the home and they want it to have a preschool program, we can click those. And maybe they want English and Spanish spoken. And let's say occasionally they need an early morning. And stick with those, see what we come up with. So then we're going to pick search. I believe too, if you call in, they may be able to provide more options than what's on the. And again, our map isn't working well. So maybe that's something we need to talk with them about is the map coming up.
It was working the other day.
Yeah, it was working the other day.
With the childcare providers.
This would be where I think childcare, people that are actually providing childcare could sign up. Provider page there. Let's do this. I'm going to click on this side over here as the filter search. We're going to see if we can get straight to what we want. So here's all the things that we picked. Maybe there were none for what we chose. Let's take off some of our. Oh, so here it says we have 3 providers.
mine's not liking this at all. So
Oh, yours isn't working. But I'm still not seeing where they are. They should be here. Click for help. I guess just the point to, if you get providers to come up, that 25 random are going to come up.
and then each time you redo it, it's going to do a different 25. So
Oh, I probably should have done like a 10-mile radius. Let's research again. Gosh. Guess we're just learning on the fly here.
I know.
Not wanting to work.
No.
Probably.
Is it coming up for you?
It'd be like Java or something.
No.
Showing.
I'm putting, I need,
Did you go to would you see if the childcare is working for you?
it won't at all. Like the
Oh.
map won't even load for me.
Oh.
So I'm
Well,
Trying to see
maybe we
if
need to bring that back to
Kristen's-
Carrie, that right now the map isn't even working. We aren't getting our
Are
childcare.
any of the people watching?
Mm-mm.
Getting well?
no. There's no viewers. Is that what you're asking?
Oh, there's no.
She's
viewers?
wondering if
No.
anyone knows. If they were viewers, I'm gonna look while I'm here. I'm gonna pull it up on my app phone.
I have one viewer, but it's her laptop. So it's-
So I have a question. And we're gonna go through all of this, and that's great. So, but what are you hoping to get out of this meeting?
Sorry. I know how to navigate the site. It's actually pretty easy to navigate.
Mhm.
It's just that, I like the filters. But,
Have you tried the filters on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, after we did the training, I
Yeah.
was playing around with it.
Okay.
And I'd like to see more services listed.
So
Most of my stuff is like emergencies, crisis. I have people that have lost their homes and there's nowhere to send them. But then again, I don't know if those resources are available, so I try to use 211. But it's not showing me anything that I don't already have access to. So I didn't know, that's why I was asking, who does the networking for the people that are signing up their services.
That's Carrie here locally. She's doing the main networking. And I think that's part of the problem is before there wasn't anyone down here. So it was kind of word of mouth and it was difficult to keep it updated and to also encourage people to want to join. So with her, she's really focused on, I think, the main organizations, kind of the big guns first, getting them all signed up and on. And then as time allows, she's kind of branching out. But I know that's been something that she's shared with us as being a difficulty because she only has so many hours, so much time to be able to go. But with these trainings, she's hoping to the word of mouth will help spread so then she doesn't necessarily have to be doing all the footwork.
Well, we have a great gal that runs the job connections there at Goodwill. And anytime anybody's looking for anything, she sends them to 211 and she helps them navigate the site and stuff. So it's getting used.
okay.
Great.
What I'm finding is that I have a packet this thick of housing, low-income housing in the valley.
Yes.
And what I found out yesterday is that HUD only covers so much. That's the main application place. But a lot of these low-income housing projects or apartment buildings have their own application process. And the public isn't aware of that. They think if they fill out with HUD, then they're covered in all low-income housing in the valley, and that's not true.
Yeah, because there's the other, like Compass House has their own, and Road Retreat has their own, and they're separate from HUD.
And those aren't on there. So people aren't aware that it's a different application process.
Okay. So
And the comprehensiveness, maybe.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a few pages of low-income housing availability just in the Rogue Valley.
but that's what it should be. That's what
Yeah.
you would
Because
like,
each
right?
one, I just drove one of my persons around and we hit 14 different apartment complexes that were all low income. And she had to fill out a separate application and each and every one, they were not affiliated with HUD. They're just low income.
Mm.
HUD has their own housing.
It sounds like those are outside of Compass and
Yeah.
Road Retreat too, then they're private. I mean, they're
Right.
low income.
Well, when you go to
on a
HUD and
list.
get a list,
Right,
they're on the list
They're
that
on
HUD
the list.
gives you, but they have a separate application process.
They just probably also qualify for HUD
right.
subsidies.
So they have so many units that they will give to HUD, and then they have so many
The rest
units
is
that are
low
their
income.
own.
Well, that's a lot of footwork. That's
Yes.
a lot of footwork.
But it's supposed to be a one-stop shop, kind of, especially for that kind of
See, if
thing.
you guys could get the low income housing on there, and a lot of them have their own website, put a link to that application so that people can download it and fill it out on the spot, and then
Go.
Yeah,
either email it back to them or drive there and drop it off.
that's a great, I could see that working in so many of their platforms if they could have a link that would go directly to the applications.
And that packet that you're talking about, is it the one that DHS gives out? So like, okay, I picked those up and they're
Pretty big.
huge. Yes.
I sat down with a client, family, and we called everybody on that list, everybody, including Rogue River, Shady Cove, Ashland, and they wanted to centralize here in Medford, but she went in and called everybody on that list. It took her 3 hours. And the minimum wait was 6 months to 2 years. Every
Okay.
single one, nobody had one. And she ended up losing her place and nowhere to go. We could not find her housing. Because the low-income people that are on TANF especially have been outpriced in this valley. Their TANF is not enough to cover rent, let alone the rest of necessities.
See, when we first started this project with Carrie, she has a list, an Excel list of all the organizations that she would like to have on 211's website. And so what she was basically having to do is to go into each specific one, and they have to do their part. You know, she can tell them, please join the website, but they have to fill out that, is it an application process, or is it kind of just like a,
Yeah, it's a short application process because they have to be vetted by Portland to be sure that, you know, that they should be listed. And then once that happens, then they're kind of in-house, I think, in charge of getting their listing up.
Mhm.
And then she's kind of the one, she gets the alerts when it's time to update. And if it hasn't happened, then she kind of goes back and knocks on their door. But
because each place gets like is it each year? Just once a year, right? Once a year, they'll get a reminder, hey, please, you know, come back to your update your information and stuff like that. So we can definitely talk to her about why is that whole DHS packet not on there, like each place that they list.
Right.
So
Maybe because each place, they may not want to be on there. So if they already have a six month to 2 year wait with all of these housing, what's the point of putting them up on 211?
because I mean, they still recommend people fill out the application, even though there's a wait, because like,
then you're on the queue.
yeah,
That's true for HUD, but I mean for these individual ones.
Well, I spoke to a gal today at the laundromat of all places. She just moved up here from California. She went to DHS and she got that list. She drove to a low-income apartment complex in Central Point, filled out their application, and she was in 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
good.
nobody else locally had filled out their application, they were waiting for HUD.
I see.
And she just got up here from California. And I said, you got into low-income housing in 3 days? And she goes, oh, it's just, you know, by the grace of God, and I was lucky.
Wow.
And she said they have their own application process. And I thought, wow. You know, so what I've got to do now is get out on the streets with these people that I'm working with. And some don't have transportation. They don't have childcare. So I can't drive children around. Our insurance doesn't allow that, but I can drive the parent around. So I will have to drive them to each and every apartment complex to fill out these individual applications. And then there's going to be the need for childcare.
Right. During that process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you're suggesting is then if there's a link to each one of these low income, that could be something that's done electronically.
Yeah.
Do they like to interview the applicant at the time? Do you think that face-to-face is an important aspect of getting into?
You know, I don't know.
You know, but it'd be interesting because I know Carrie does ask that they put as much information in their little
Right.
area, and that would be something that they
Something
could
do.
denote that, you know, it's
Interview
more likely,
process
you know,
required or something.
requires
yeah.
face-to-face or
Or
we can
send
do
us
it
back
online.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, just to get in. And they could also, you know, update as often as they had time or felt that they wanted to the wait time.
Right.
Which would be helpful.
Yeah.
So also listing wait times for housing.
Because I went through that list with that one gallon and we put next to each place what the wait time was. Minimum 6 months, minimum 1 year, minimum 2 years.
And that's a lot of manpower, you know, for you to sit there and spend your time doing that. Where it's like if it was just electronically, then you could see it and you wouldn't have to
It'd
worry
probably
about.
take someone in the office a few minutes.
Yeah.
To see if they can access it with computers, they can do it from home. They can go here right across the street. If they're a student, they can do it here at school. They can come down to Job Connections. They can go to the library where it's warm
Mhm.
instead of walking the streets and riding the bus.
And spending all the money in bus fares.
And it's just discouraging, you know, because there's so many of them in this valley. And then they go further and further out. If they could just do it online, it would make it so
Yeah,
much
that would be huge.
And I just want to say, I know she wasn't able to make it, but at our Eagle Point meeting, the homeless liaison for the school district did mention that, and this is more related to the app than the website, but making a link, and it could be on the website as well, for homeless youth specifically, so that they aren't having to go through several channels. So
There's not a deal on there for the Maslow project?
I believe they are linked in there, but it takes several different routes to get to it. So yeah, lots of clicks, and then like in the front of the site, and I'm sure you're familiar, but her suggestion, and she was looking at the app at the time, but her suggestion would be within this section here to have I'm a homeless youth.
Oh, yeah.
So they can click on that and
Go
get right
straight
to
to
like
it.
Maslow and all the appropriate
Yeah.
resources.
Because I was doing the I'm in crisis, I need shelter. I did the transportation, renters resources.
So do you feel like the usability or the relevance of this site, if you're going to all these places and you already know it's not telling you anything more than what you don't already know? Is that what I kind of?
Well, except for childcare.
Except for childcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I found quite a bit.
probably the one
That was
is
a really
used
good
the
one.
most. Would you say? I mean,
Well, the childcare?
Yeah.
Well, I think ideally when it's functioning
when it's functioning, right?
well.
And it's
I think it's had to give those updates.
Maybe. Let me see if I can access it on my computer. She was having trouble with hers too.
It doesn't like it for some reason.
Well, it could be the server.
Yeah, I think it.
But that's still an issue, I feel like.
It
That's an
is.
issue. You know, there's
That's
lots
right.
of students that are
That are
parents.
here.
So depending on the server.
And they could be using the same server as the library. I mean, they may be all connected. So if you're going to the library to look it up,
Yeah.
and it can't get on, so.
And how many times are you
That's
gonna
kind of an
try?
interesting thing to take laptops around to different
Oh, yeah.
common places that people.
The library uses a different server.
Oh, does it?
RCC and SOU have their own server.
Have their own server, okay. Sure, they use the same.
Because a lot of kids will go over to that apps and connect there,
Right.
because this one has so many problems.
Oh, okay, well, there you
I
go.
used to when I was in school, I'd go over there and use theirs.
Okay.
So that's good feedback too, is
That's
depending
good,
on the
yeah.
server and location of access will potentially prevent the map images and other.
And I was thinking maybe going to Google Chrome instead of did you go to Firefox? What are you
I'm
using?
in Google Chrome.
You're in Google
I
Chrome.
But
am
maybe
in
that would be
Safari.
something too of not
You're in
having,
Safari and neither one of those are working, okay.
well, but wouldn't it would be helpful, let's see, because this only has it in here. In the app, you can do a list view or a map view, and maybe if there was a list view option on here, then it wouldn't necessarily matter. If I could get to the map later, at least I
Yeah.
could get some names now, because it doesn't.
Well,
look
on
like-
your list view, it has an address anyway, usually.
Yeah, but on here, I'm not seeing a list view at all.
So it's like wanting to do the map or nothing.
Yeah, so if you had the list view, then they could actually Google the address.
So adding a
Yeah,
list
that's true.
view
Google Map it on your phone, probably.
map.
When I heard you talking a lot about emergencies, and I was wondering too how, I know a lot of the agencies that are on there, like Salvation Army and the Mission, but I wonder how often they're updating their emergency food or even their scheduled meal times. Because I think that would be really helpful, I imagine.
Well, St. Vinny's and the Mission are pretty much the same all the time.
10 to 2.
But do they have special hours for holidays? Do you know if
Yes.
those get listed on here?
If you go to their websites.
If you go to, okay.
Well, on 211, when I was looking the other day, they were showing the hot meals. I Googled Thanksgiving,
Oh.
or not Googled, I put
a
Thanksgiving
keyword.
in the search bar, and it showed the Mission, St. Vinny's, I think, and then there was two restaurants or something. One church and a restaurant. They're doing hot meals on Thanksgiving. But I was looking for last minute food baskets, and there was one. Didn't show.
That might
So that means you've got to do the footwork of calling all these places and asking them. And a lot of people just don't want to put in the work.
So
yeah, no matches but found for Thanksgiving baskets. It comes up though, so at some point they must have thought that would be.
yeah. So I'm wondering that, so now that I mean, not that it's a new identification of a gap in 2-in-1's website of not listing every organization and every resource for those particular things, but maybe we can brainstorm ideas of ways to entice organizations to want to come more, or, you know, like make it easier or whatever it may be.
Yeah, because I know she's also said that she's had people think she was selling them something, so she'll show up to talk to them about 211, and they'll say, no, that's not for us. And
Can you guys, or is this a Portland thing? Can you guys see what people are searching for?
we got
Yes.
access, and I know Carrie can too.
So Google Analytics shows what people are searching for the most.
Okay.
Are you wanting to know that information right now? Because we can try to look it up.
Oh, I was just wondering if you guys knew, and then that way you can use that information for when you do your spiel on trying to get people to sign up. Well, hey, look, we've got this many people searching this term,
Ah, okay.
and you
Well-
fit in within that term, but you're not on our website, so they can't find you.
And I think in the quarterly report, she just emailed those out today. Let me see. If,
So use Google Analytics to point out to providers the need and amount of people searching for that particular item to help them
Or
to
that
like,
service, yeah,
and that
Yeah.
for Joe County, I just pulled up the Joe County.
and that can
one
help
has to do-
promote the need,
mhm.
and then that might entice them to go ahead and sign up if they know that you're actually getting hits, which means they'll get hits. If people are searching for that and nothing's showing up, say you got, 50 searches for one service and nobody shows up, if they get on there, they're gonna get all those 50 hits.
Mhm.
And then that could help them with their numbers for grants,
Right.
or for funding in the future.
I also wonder that if maybe these organizations who are probably already overburdened with people trying to access resources from them, they might not be able to spend the time that it takes to even sign up initially. So maybe there's something where, if they get more funding, that people can go into
The
those.
thing is if they get signed up and they're getting all these hits, that can go in the grant. But when you write up,
For their funding.
when you have your grant writer write up stuff for you,
Mhm.
that information can be included in the grant, and that will show that there's a need,
Okay.
and that they're overwhelmed and they can't fulfill that need without further funding.
And you're talking about grant money at those individual locations?
Right.
Like
if
The
access- okay.
heavier the need is,
Ah,
the more they can put into the grant writing, that, this need has grown this much and we haven't. We need the extra funding to be able to cover this.
okay.
Because when you do a grant, when you're writing for a grant, you've got to show a need.
And if they can show, like the numbers show up that, 20,000 people were searching for food, emergency food. They only had enough to cover 10,000. They can, have the data to show that they.
Because this is going to be a great resource for that particular
It's gonna be a
purpose,
For tracking.
Yeah.
for showing, especially for the grant writers, to show how bad the need is, because they keep cutting the funding.
Well, and that was
Because
something we're
they
going
haven't been able to track it,
to be able to track even seasonally to see, maybe to,
where the peaks are.
where to plan for resource allocation or even for public health initiatives, what is being needed at what time of the year so we can better, allot our funding.
The spikes and the, yeah.
And that can also, if something like that is sent out periodically to the organizations, it can show them, well, instead of starting on this date with appealing to the public for resource, for donations, let's start a week earlier.
Right.
So that we got it coming in by the time we get that peak.
Trying to access. Okay. That's great. I love
Don't wait till there's a
Right.
need and then ask for
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
you
could
kinda
say
see the
last
trending-
year,
The trends and what's going on.
Yeah,
when the needs
absolutely.
spike. So you're interested in, I'm gonna go back to, do you mind if I?
No, not
at all.
Again, so what do you wanna walk away with tonight? What can, we have some time left, and what can they do to help you, so, yeah, with feasibility?
My main thing is housing
Mhm.
for what I do.
Yeah.
That's the need that's coming to me right
Right.
now. All the people that are being referred to me, and the one I just got from Josephine County, will be my first case, they're living in the barn. So, housing is it's a huge issue for me. I've got a lot of people that lost their homes with children,
Mhm.
and they have nowhere to go. And I would like to be able to, online, be able to look for those resources and not have to make a whole bunch of phone calls.
Right.
Mhm.
And then I can, once I find what I'm looking for, then I can make the phone calls.
Mhm.
But I'm doing a lot of cold calling and I'm spending hours. I'm not too familiar with Grants Pass. I did spend a day up there, and I find the dynamics in Josephine County a lot friendlier than here in Jackson County. We're so overwhelmed down here that they kind of get
Cranky?
not cranky. It's like callous.
Oh, yeah,
You gotta stop being empathetic at a point or job.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they just bent over backwards for me up there when I told them what I was doing. And, oh yeah, you can network with us, and anytime you want to call. And
Aw.
I went to HUD, and there was a line of, it's a little tiny office, and there was like 13 people standing in there. I wasn't going to try to cut the line or anything, so I just left. I never got to talk to them. But I talked to some of the mental health people, the UCAN, Salvation Army.
Do they have any feedback when you go to these places? I'm wondering if, because I know that the state has to know of such the urgent need of housing and the lack of housing. Is there any sign of improvement in the future? Have you run into any information as far as that goes?
Nope. It's just with access, because they're the main funder here in the valley for emergency like rental assistance and stuff like that. Even talking, I can't get through on the phone, so I had to, sidestep a lot of stuff, and I went to the director of support services. And all you could say was, as soon as they clear the answering machine out, they get so many calls, they can't keep up with them. So people are leaving messages, and the phone machine is always full. And as soon as they delete all the messages, once they write down everybody's information, it gets filled up again. I had a family I was working with, they tried for 3 weeks to get through on the line, and they couldn't. So when I got a hold of him and told him what I did and what was happening with my families, and that they were coming down to the wire, he said, have him email me directly. So I've sent 2 families to him directly. They've sent their plea to his email. The one, she was down to the wire. She ended up, now she's looking to a friend of the family because she couldn't find housing.
I'm
But it's
wondering-
the price that's killing people here.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just, it's the price, sure, and there's not enough low income, and then the middle income, right, there's some, but even that, I think what is our
Working
rental rate our rental availability is down to like 6% or
Oh,
3%,
gosh,
it's
yeah,
still
it's really
very low, so it's really units that aren't available, it's not just rent.
There's a lot of empty houses. But
There
they're all
are,
owned by
I
the
know,
bank.
they're all proposed,
I know, I saw some like 300 in
Yeah.
Ashland alone.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's where I think, so we're getting off topic again, but it's so amazing that, to raise the voice and talk to city council and see if there's something, can be done from city government to open some of these spaces up for shelter.
Well, and being able to take, we could take the data from 211, if
yeah.
it's being
And
effectively
say,
used in our area. Say, this is what's happening. With the analytics, if we can get it out there,
Like
it's
these
using
people on the
day to
city
day.
council can't drive around here and see all the ones.
I'm sure they're aware of it. I'm
All they
just
gotta do
wondering.
is sit down at Southern Oregon Goodwill one day,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they'll
well,
see.
that's true, and I think that sometimes they forget to be with families and your, like your story, some of your stories that you can see old. I don't know, I'm just making a lot of assumptions there.
Yeah, I live most of my families are, well, all of my families are referred to child welfare. And they have even backed off on some of their criteria because they're realizing that it's not the parents' fault that there's no housing. You know,
What can
and
you do?
before, if you didn't have housing, they considered you an unfit parent. You couldn't provide for your children, so they take them.
Mhm.
Well, they don't do that now because they realize that it's not a parenting issue, it's an economic issue.
Social issue, actually.
I'm wondering too about bolstering up the other, kind of, since we know there's this issue of housing, like kind of trying to side route it and really working on bulking up the resources that are kind of the outliers, like the different churches and things that may have, it may not be your typical situation, but maybe they have a family that has an extra room, that they
There
know
are
that they can-
churches that have
getting them on.
members that will help, and there are churches that will help financially.
Mhm.
I just don't know which ones.
Right, so
I
something
think that would be
like
really
that would be
important.
good around housing too.
Yeah, and food. I think a lot of times they can provide or make an emergency basket happen maybe faster than an organization.
It's a big problem, and it's beyond 211.
Yeah, see, that's the deal is everybody kept telling me, go to 211, go to 211. I said, I do go to 211. I said, but they don't have
There's nothing, that.
you know, I send my families to 211 and they go, well, they don't have nothing I need.
Mhm.
You know, so it's a lot of footwork and it's a lot of driving around and it's a lot of filling out applications and some of them only have access to an app or a phone and they don't have a computer
Yeah.
and they can't leave their kids because they don't have a sitter to go to the library to use their computer or job connections or something like that. And the phone, you can't fill out the applications.
No.
Mhm.
It's different on the phone, I guess. I don't have that.
Well,
kind of
maybe
phone,
that'd be
so I don't
something
know.
to mention to them, like a way to make the apps able to do applications, to be able to fill out forms. I know it'd be trickier, it would take a lot longer because you have the little
Well, there's a lot of,
finger keypads.
my understanding is there's a lot of functions that you aren't able to do on a phone that you can on the laptop.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
look at
because of the
Facebook.
software.
Facebook, there's a lot of options that you can't even get to from the phone. My daughter's a phone freak. She's got the new iPhones and everything as soon as they come out. But she gets mad because there's places she can't get to on Facebook. Because she's on a phone, she has to go home and go use her laptop.
But I also know that I went to websites on my phone where you can put your data in, so you are filling out applications. And I
Oh,
don't.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I can't give you a specific example of an organization where you put your name, your address filled, phone number, everything.
Yeah, 'cause
Or like
this is my
Amazon,
phone.
if you're gonna order something, you can
It's-
Well,
It's just,
yeah,
I don't have internet access.
yeah. I think it has to be a smartphone if you're going to do
So that's
that.
the other thing, so having a place where people who need to fill out applications for 211 can go, so that might be the Goodwill. There may be places that people can go that could help with applications. I don't know. if
Yeah, you
Goodwill
could
would do
put
that, or
Southern
Job
Oregon Goodwill
Council.
Job Connections. We have the
Job
Job
Connections,
Connections in
right.
White City, Ashland, here in Medford. There's Grants Pass has one.
What about too, like Hearts of Mission and different places that might also be able to do some sort of childcare or have people available that, even if it's not specific childcare, but that there's people there that might be willing to help you keep an eye on your kid while you fill out this application.
Are you saying at the job fairs that they hold? I don't know how often they are, but they don't have childcare available on those times. Do you know?
We don't,
Okay.
Goodwill doesn't. I don't know about Hearts with the Mission or.
But if that's, so the idea would be to, somewhere on 211, where if there was an application that needed to be completed for housing, that there would also be a link of places that you could go to
Fill out
fill
that.
it out and that you could send it if people didn't have a laptop.
Right, because they
Yeah,
can
they
use
do
the Workforce Oregon right across the street.
So it's just another, so, okay, I got here, I need to fill out the application, but I can't fill it, so then you'd have a link. If you you're unable to fill out the application on this site, here are some
Places.
Physical
physical
locations.
locations that
Okay.
you can go.
Or they could go and use the
Use the computer and
computers.
Okay. I
And
put
then
that
again,
in
if
there.
they could like add in there like the bus route information, if
Right.
there's childcare nearby,
Right.
or provide,
Yeah.
just as much info, that'd be really great.
And then you have workforce organization, you can use the computers.
So there's places that people could go to actually
Fill it out.
help these out.
Because Job Connections National just opened recently,
Oh.
and they're on Oak Street in Ashland.
Okay.
It's kind of off the main drag.
Yeah, I had a picture.
In White City, Job Connection is right there at Goodwill.
Yeah, they have a nice little.
So the 211 info is good as a very basic beginning, first stop. But for people, for providers, for instance, who are in the business, it's not really a useful site because you already know.
Well, it
or
is
it's-
useful
or it's
when it-
limited.
Well, as far as the housing goes,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
but it's really good for childcare.
Okay. Childcare is the,
Yeah, because we don't have that
That's the
information handy.
Okay, so I'm going to put that because, you know,
That's
it's
good.
good to hear
Yeah.
what does work because we did want to hear that, but
or what is what's used the most, what's most relevant to you and your work.
In my work, it's
Right.
any kind of resource that people need,
Right.
and they all come in with different needs.
Mhm.
Childcare is one of them, and that's a really good tool for me to send them to because it's got information that I don't have access to. I don't know what all childcare providers
Yeah.
are.
Well, now it's their main source. They used to have it housed in a different organization, and people would call in and get their lists. But now this is the main place.
It's interesting, so the childcare one gives you all these physical listings and all this stuff. Why couldn't they do the same thing for housing?
she explained it to us that they have a separate like database, right? Like a
it's
different
completely separate-
program.
Yes.
And I don't know why they can't incorporate it. Maybe we can find,
So housing
Oh,
could have a
that.
similar database for all of
Yeah.
these independent,
Yeah.
low income units, so with an application for each one. So it's similar, so it'd be a similar database that with the childcare instead of just an info thing.
Yeah. That would be really
Okay.
helpful.
so.
And that would be get what you're saying, that you want a list of each individual one, not just HUD and Compass and what, not just the organizations, but it sounds like each of these individual
Right.
apartment buildings are managing their own application process. So just like childcare manages their own process, each housing
Yeah,
unit.
because I was sending everybody to 211. I hadn't checked out the
Right.
website when I
Right.
first started
Yeah.
sending them there.
Yeah, and
And they're going,
realizing,
well, I already signed up with HUD.
yeah,
So I got to looking in and there's only like 3 or 4 deals listed and I thought, oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I wonder
Yeah.
too, and
So
this
it's
might be
smart.
worth asking Carrie or trying myself, is if you are calling into 211, if they have more listings or if they
Mm.
also just have
so that
HUD or, you know.
Or they might just have that
Yeah.
DHS packet.
Yeah,
Because when they go to DHS and they say, I'm looking for low income housing, they hand them that packet and off they
Yeah,
send them.
my job's done.
Yeah.
So how do you find low income housing? Individual buildings.
A DHS packet.
Oh, so that's what's on the DHS pocket.
Mhm.
But are we
It's pretty
surmising that,
thick.
yeah, are we surmising that there are maybe others or are they required
I don't
to
know if they're
list?
required to,
list
Yeah,
themselves?
because I know that like the ones I've mentioned are their own
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know that they would be on the HUD list.
yes, a
A good place to start would just be the DHS packet, the ones that
Yeah.
are listed there. If you could just get those on there,
Yeah.
and be
There's
able
a
to
lot.
fill out those applications.
there's probably more than you really want. on your
Well, just how many
website. You've seen
childcare
the packet,
providers are
right?
there?
Well, as long as they
Yeah, there's
they meet the
tons.
criteria of what you have
And
to
you
do
can
to get on
a
211's
similar,
website,
you know,
That's what I
then I
think
think
it'd
they
be a
should
similar
be,
template.
Mhm.
if they
I
can.
want to,
And I have seen it. It's thick. I mean, and it's front and back and yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen
That would
it.
be really helpful.
I think that would be huge.
Yeah, because right now the childcare one is, I think it's through Western Oregon University that's running that database, and it's totally separate than the other one is the IR. I should look at it. The Refer Web, the AIRS houses that, and it's out of LA, I think.
What about, like you guys have SOU.
Yeah.
That's here in the valley, right? Have them run a local
Wouldn't
for
that be cool?
Southern Oregon.
That's a great
And
idea.
then have like Eugene run from Roseburg to Eugene and then, move it on up, because 2-on-1 is all Oregon. Have a university in each area, try to get all that low-income housing on their server or whatever it is you're talking about,
Hmm.
so that it's accessible for a local. They
Okay.
can put in Southern Oregon, or Central Oregon, Northern Oregon,
And then it wouldn't be
Eastern Oregon.
one place trying to manage the
Right.
entire state.
See if you can get universities in on that
Okay.
to do that. Maybe they'd be able to find housing that DHS doesn't have.
Well, and wouldn't it be interesting too if any of their family housing was empty? They could
Right.
then offer that up as low-income housing.
That's
I don't
never
know. I mean, that was like my magic wand dream world, Chrissy.
never empty.
Dream big.
Well, it doesn't have to be actually low-income housing. I mean, I think if you're listing it as low-income housing, I imagine there's some kind of state protocol that has to be adhered to because they go by percentages.
Yeah.
So I imagine the state's in on that. Maybe that's why DHS
But
has
there
the
might
list.
also be listings that are moderately priced and it's a 3-bedroom and then 2 people, you have roommates.
Yes.
Kind of a thing,
Yeah.
so, or it's not just about that, I mean.
Or it's a large
House of
multi.
families, but there's individuals out there that are also, would be helpful to have moderately priced and 3 people can live there,
Mhm.
you know.
Or
so
multi-generational families. And
That's really good that you brought that, I didn't realize that. So just
Yeah.
think about a database like the child care would be helpful to you.
Yes,
Probably be helpful to individuals as well, that they can go on individually and look up
and look in their local area.
and look at their local area and not just rely on HUD and the organization.
well, and that's not really helping HUD out either. It's kind of not using 2-on-1 to its fullest potential.
And that was brought up in a few of the other forums, but it's Susan said that it's a funding issue. They don't have the funding to have that similar interface as the daycare, the childcare. But
That's a grant and
yeah,
maybe,
Or a project, if you could get the universities to back it,
Right.
it could possibly be a
Maybe.
project that someone.
is that
I
like a
don't know how that
leadership
works.
project that you're
well, we
thinking,
would
or
probably take that on and have to be something for SOU, but, and I'm not sure we could look in to see if there would be anyone interested in that.
okay?
University, I don't
But
know.
looks like some of those the internet.
Computer science
Right,
or
on
something.
computer science or even, computer or,
Health and Human Services.
Oh, as their project to actually to build that
to
for
build it and then maybe even maintain it through the department or somehow, I don't know. And to have students, like, that would be something that would be ongoing for student projects. So capstone project. Would have to be something that's $10.
Have to continue or else.
Maintain,
I continue the monitoring of it. Yeah,
checking resources, updating everything.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that, but. Sure. And it could be a be kind of fun to collaborate across programs. So OHSU and sociology, Department of Sociology and Psych Ed and all of those programs have a stake in the health of our community and housing.
That would be a neat project in itself to have all those people at the table and
And to brainstorm about how we might be able to create a database and maintain a database for housing.
okay.
Cause that's a huge project.
that'd be a huge project. But it's
But
It's
you
very
gonna
wouldn't-
have to be, it's gonna have to be broken down into sections
Yeah.
because it's so huge.
But you wouldn't think it would be too difficult if they already have one on their website. Can't they just copy and paste, but then fill it in with like
Right.
housing information versus?
Yeah, they wouldn't necessarily have to reinvent
And
the
then
wheel.
then,
Yeah.
I mean, even the template, it's all there. It just needs to, wording needs to be.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot of groundwork, a lot of foot
made
traffic out, going to all those places and getting them to, even coming alongside them if they weren't willing to sign up.
I
if they-
think that would be the hard part, would be to get them to sign up. They have to sign up themselves, right?
Yes,
You can just input it off of the DHS.
unless maybe they gave you, maybe you could get some sort of a consent
The
that
consent
says.
say, yeah, okay, you can list me.
That would
Maybe
be, okay.
That would be enough, since
so-
it's really, it's kind of a little different than providing a service.
And then if students were helping, it wouldn't be all on Carrie. So I think that would be really a lot of.
A lot of homeowners also are using property management. And their criteria and if you gotta jump through to get in is pretty restricting.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting too, you know, how people have rentals or they'll do like a vacation rental. They live there part of the time or you go away, but you know, if you could almost access one of those databases too, to people that maybe don't have a whole house but they have a room, you know, a couple could rent it, or a single mom or dad with a couple kids, or you know.
I'm just typing up this because I want to make sure we get that.
Well, that's great.
Very good ideas.
Gosh.
So that was one of our main goals tonight, is to write down all these wonderful ideas and then give them to Carrie so she can get them to the appropriate people to see if there's like what needs to be done to make those changes and stuff. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over? Or do you have any questions about that?
See, I'm looking
The
at, I look at
process.
the website from a different point of view because I'm not the public.
Yeah.
And that's really the goal we're
Provider.
looking at, is how is it working for you as a provider? Are there places that are, like just not working well? I mean, obviously the housing sounds like it's not working great, but are there any other, even just like technical parts of the website that you find are either
The
working really
maps
good?
always worked for me when I went onto the caregiving site.
And do you feel like that is a beneficial part of it to have the map, or do
Oh,
you think
yeah.
the list? Okay.
Because you can find where you live and pick the closest one and then screen them somehow.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't do it myself, but you can call those people. And I always suggest this to my families is meet the provider first. Make sure it's the right kind of house, the right kind of environment. The person's got the personality you're looking for, you know, they talk to your kid the way you want them to be talked to.
Mhm.
You know, don't just pick them because they're the closest. Make sure it's going to be a match for your child.
Yeah.
But the map is really cool because then it shows them location. Okay, I live here and I got to work here. I need a babysitter here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not over here.
Yep.
Mhm.
So the map is really cool.
Okay.
And like I tell them, you know, like you told us at the training, the one gal I told her, she goes, well, these are all not close enough. And I said, well, refresh it. She goes, well, what's that going to do? I said, it's going to give you 25 more providers, different ones.
Yeah.
And she actually found 3 that were right around the corner from her
Yay.
house on a refresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's a good tip.
That really should be on there, like, if you don't find, is it on there?
It is
is,
now.
but
It needs to be bold and
Yeah, it
red
needs
and
to be bold. It's
across the
not.
screen.
It's kind of
Yeah,
small.
Refresh.
She goes, well, what's that going to do? I said, it's going to change your providers.
Maybe
Give
they
you
should say
25
next,
more.
because that's really what we need.
That's a good idea.
You know,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
refresh means refresh the screen, yes, but we're used to next, or the
Yeah.
next arrow,
Or put
to
like
give you
next
more.
next
Next
25.
25,
Okay.
right, yeah.
Have
Next
a
25. Yes.
Yeah.
next
That's much more
25
fair.
Because I
button.
said refresh and she goes, well, what's that going to do?
That's excellent, yeah,
That's-
sure,
That's
it
excellent.
needs to be
Warning.
the right language, the right
yeah,
cue,
yeah.
next 25.
Yeah, because people understand that, like, oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
Let me click that.
Well, and see what comes up is your advanced search returned 25 providers. I didn't do an advanced search. I just did Medford. So that wouldn't cue me to say, oh, if I do it again, I'm going to get new
That's right.
people.
That's huge, that's an easy fix too, they all can do is.
Yeah.
Well,
just
see, I
change the
didn't
wording.
know until I went to the training.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I refreshed it, I was going to get more.
Yeah.
Because it said it was an advanced search.
Yeah.
That's huge, that by itself is huge.
Yeah. I'm still a little torn on the fact that if a website needs a class just to understand how to use it, you know, but it's more than just a website. It's a tool, and it's not just a short-term tool. It's a long-term tool. So it definitely can see the benefit of it, because now you're going to be able to teach everybody you come across of just how to do it. So, but
Well, I can fill Gina in too. She's the face of Job Connections down there.
Oh, wonderful.
okay.
And then Haley and Shailene were both from Job Connections, Ashland and White City, and they were at the training.
What would be your input on ways to get the word out about 211 to providers first, I guess, and then clients as well, but like any creative ideas that aren't necessarily monetary based to be able to kind of keep the momentum
You mean
going.
like babysitters or?
No, I'm thinking
housing
more
or-
for just like organizational providers, like professionals like yourself,
Mhm.
to be able to continue spreading the word about it, using it as a tool, and then using it with your clients, but just to kind of bulk up the database through
Users.
that. Mhm.
Of the providers, people who will go there for.
Yeah, and then also
Questions.
they'll go there for questions, but also then be inclined to list their organizations as well. So I know that's a tricky one for them. They just don't have funding for advertisement.
Over
Marketing.
211.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just about everybody that I've worked with has 211 info. They have all the little cards and stuff.
Okay.
Have you been holding classes in Grants Pass?
We did a class in Grants Pass and a class in Cape Junction.
This
I wasn't
was-
at Grants Pass though, so I don't know
Yeah.
how many.
Was Southern?
There was about
Goodwill-
40 or 50.
Was Goodwill present?
I cannot remember. And Carrie has the sign-in sheets, but there were sign-in sheets. So,
So you guys didn't get no viewers tonight? I'm the only one that.
I think so.
Out of
But that's
15
okay.
Well,
people that
we'll take
signed up.
one.
Yeah,
We
we were guarding our hearts for 0. So
Well, there's
made our
2
night.
actually, so there's another person.
There was?
Yes.
Were they listening?
Well, I know my husband did join,
Oh.
so I don't know if he's the
He's
one, the
checking
second
on
one.
you.
I think it's him and me, perhaps.
So
It's
yeah,
just- yeah. I think it's
but that's okay.
But as far as providers go, I would talk with DHS and Child Welfare because they do a lot of referrals. They work with a lot of different organizations. They refer families to them, and that's how I get my families. DHS too, they're the ones that give out the housing packets.
so talk with them and ask them.
If they would,
The word out.
put the word out on 211, maybe give them some
magnets and different things.
flyers and the little cards and stuff, and see if they'll copy them so it's less on your funding.
Mhm.
And you know
So
they
They do
hand
the
them
flash
out.
report. You get the flash report from DHS. That is a report that kind of, and that's more health, but I don't see why this couldn't, it's about have announcements. And it goes out to all the professional organizations you sign up for. That's, so, they might be able to send that out, is what I'm saying, to
Mhm.
beyond maybe the reach of what has already
Okay.
happened. I don't know. I didn't mean to cut you off there. but-
Oh, that's fine.
I just got an idea that I couldn't sit on.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah, but that's
organizations
good.
you already have listed, like Hearts of Mission and
Yeah.
Haslo, they work with other organizations on track. We're all intertwined as part of the family connection. Go to the family connection, it's, everybody's in that circle, and then you have those that are in the family connection, like Goodwill and Haslo and Hearts of Mission, and then they reach out to other organizations. So try to get everybody like us and even WorkSource Oregon and stuff to reach out to their connections
Do you
and
think
spread the word.
Goodwill would ever be willing to add 211 to their homepage for the computers, like in their computer labs? Or do you think they would be open to doing that, or even having just a link? So when you open up the computer, it's right there.
Goodwill runs on its own server, so I don't know if they would do that. Because when they use our computers, they just put in 211 info and it takes it right to the page.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would put a direct link to it or not. That would have to go through higher ups
But
than me.
wouldn't that be cool if like Carrie or somebody sent out like because they can send out like emails or whatever and request that they be open to the idea of putting a link on their websites.
They could email Goodwill.
So
Well, no, I'm thinking too is just also in the where they're having
Or
the
resource or-
the computers open and available for people to use that maybe are in there for
But see,
something
our
else.
computers are not open.
Oh.
You have to actually be in our system, and then you have your own username and password to get onto the computer itself. It's a sign-in screen like what you have here, and you have to be in our system in order to get on our server. Same thing as RCC. So
Okay.
what is it?
Like,
I can see
it's-
it.
What's OHSU?
OHSU, so we're,
No, Oregon Health and Science University. We're the
Yes.
nursing school. They're actually based up in Portland, and we're a satellite campus that's housed
Oh, okay.
at SOU.
we're at SOU.
So I used to get Oregon State and
Yeah,
State of Oregon
I know.
or whatever
Yeah.
mixed up, and it was the beavers and the ducks.
that's right, that's how I remember.
Yeah, I don't know what we would be. The stethoscopes.
In the distance.
And people go, you want to go to Oregon
Can I say
State?
that?
I go, I don't know. it's
Yes, thank you.
Corvallis.